Great. Love it. How are you, Vishal? Good to see you.
Jason,
Nice meeting you.
Okay.
Thank you for having me here, guys.
We're just chatting. It's been value packed already. Obviously, we feel the energy out there, and we're really excited. If we can get you just closer, a little bit closer to the mic. Yeah, here I'll move my knee so we're not touching that. But yeah, so we've spent a lot of time with Ben Pieri, with Professor Venki, who's amazing. We're just chatting about just the value and scenario base and all of that. So introduce yourself. We met out in the lobby.
Yeah.
I actually did some research. I was taking a look at your content and what you put out on LinkedIn. Very impressed. I was really
Absolutely.
excited to meet you, and we didn't chat too much out there, but now let's chat.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have a
I'm
conversation.
all here. So, yeah, thank you for having me here, guys.
Our pleasure.
Vishal Modi. I have a tech startup, and we're slightly into a different space of integrating AI into utensils. So, you're talking of a combination of a hardware and software that helps you eat better, eat more mindfully.
Oh, I love this. Let's chat about this. So walk us through what led to this company being started up. What was the vision? Why? Give me the story. There has to be a big story about this.
Yeah, no, for sure. So and this is a common denominator in some of the founders that I've talked to, is like it starts with a personal pain.
Sure.
And in my case, it was my weight loss. Like I struggled with weight to an extent where I was bullied when I was a kid, right? And so that wound was still somewhere within me, and I didn't do anything about it until COVID hit, and that's when things started. World shut down on me, and things went downhill. I go to a dietitian, and the first thing I'm being told is like, hey, here's a diet plan. You got to measure your food and then cook and then eat. And I'm like, excuse me. He's like, yeah, just do it for 3-4 times a day. And I come from a background of consumer tech. I saw the evolution of iPhone from day one to Gen 15, which just came out, right? So I'm like, this is dated. This is not. And that's when literally I took a pen and paper, drew a picture of a spoon with sensors, cameras built into it, and
Wow.
said, you know what if there was something that could say, I scooped the food, I put it in my mouth, this much I ate, it should measure me. How about if we can use that to even tell me if I'm eating too fast or too much and stop me from doing so?
Oh my goodness.
and then weighs like 20 pounds when you eat too much, so you can't even pick it up.
Exactly. And I've got like, as I went through the journey, people have come up to me and it's like, hey, so I really want it to push me to stop eating. Can you give it an electric shock so that it just drops from the hand? I'm like, well, that's too extreme, but yeah, but so yeah, that's
So let's get to that because I'm curious. I wanted to challenge a little bit there, but let's walk through the actual product and your organization and how the tech works of what you can share.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You'd love to share. So you're talking literally of a fork and a spoon. There's no magic in it. This is a spoon which has multiple different sensors, including a camera that's built into it. We can identify plated food and non-plated food, meaning barcode or prepackaged food, if you will. And all you got to do is just take a scoop of food and start eating, and the sensors kind of track your hand movements. We track the weight. We have a proprietary sauce that determines if the food actually is going in your mouth. So if you scoop up the food, put it on the side, it's not a bite that we consider. And so we precisely know how much you are eating, when are you eating, how much time it takes you to chew a single morsel of food in your mouth.
People don't realize that's very important.
It's very important,
speed
right?
of digestion and all of that.
Exactly. So it takes your brain 20 minutes to really understand that you're full. And I am guilty of it too sometimes, is I eat too fast. So within that 10-minute, 11-minute, I'm done with my meal. My brain is still telling me that, hey, I'm still hungry. You need to grab another serving spoon of that food and continue eating. But what's happening is you're just overeating at that
Yeah, you're just not satiated.
Right. So, and that's where we come in and say, if you're eating too fast, our tool or spoon would auto learn and say, I eat roughly 3 scoops a minute. But in a stressful situation, if I end up 5, 6, we use haptic feedback. Think of a feedback that you get on your punch. You are the only one that will know that, hey, there's something that's telling me to look and notice. we give that haptic feedback to alert them.
So just to simplify, you have a nutritionist in your hand at all times.
100%. That's the goal, right? So our ultimate goal is to be that personalized nutritionist who can help you cultivate healthy eating habits.
So my only challenge, right, and I bet you already figured this out. I know you have the answer already. Is there is one step prior to is the selection, right? Because it doesn't. When you get to the point where you're about to eat, for the most part, you've selected already. Is
Yeah.
there's a step before to make sure that what's getting on your plate is healthy? Does your product provide, or do you have an app for that on the
So we
front end?
have a companion app, and that's a great question, right? So the way we look at it is we solve the mile zero problem, or to even put it better, we are the bridge that brings between your food and
Food to mouth.
food to mouth, right?
To know.
So right now, I think our overall objective is to help people eat more mindfully, which then eventually then translates into like those mindful decisions, right? So if you look, there are about U.S. adults typically make about 221 food-related decisions in a day, majority of which are mindless. So what we believe is that as you start looking at your own eating patterns, looking at that data, did I really eat this much?
Right.
Did I finish this much in like
Oh,
5 minutes? You are automatically then going to translate that
interesting
into a
data.
behavioral change.
Sure.
And that's what we are after.
Yeah, because I know once I had to start writing it down, then you're like, oh wait, I did eat more than I expected.
Exactly.
So yeah, having a tool that's able to calculate that for you and be able to give you that feedback of, okay, yeah, we need to think about what is our size limits. What are we trying to do?
Yes.
So I come from quite a few years in the health and fitness space. So that's the where I like to play a little bit, right? And so nutrition is a big thing. And I've been out there talking to a lot of people around. You have to optimize the ecosystem. One of them being nutrition, right? So it's not just I come from a lot of brick and mortar health and fitness based studios, things like that. Well, if you want to create better brand loyalty and recognition, create raving fans, you got to meet people where they're at, outside of your four walls. So there's that. Now, a couple things. Do you foresee, and are people, and I would bring my utensils too, because it'd be a lot easier at home when I'm gonna select healthy foods. I'm going to use my utensils that are extra smart, my nutritionist in my hand. I'm going to do well at home for the most part. If this is really my goal and I really want to get results. But I don't know what someone else is cooking when I go over their house. For the most part, right? So I'm bringing I'm bringing them with me.
Yeah.
or going to a restaurant.
Or going to a
Exactly,
restaurant,
right? So
man, that's going to get a lot of eyeballs. Like, what the heck are you using over there? I mean, what does it look? I would love. Well, I'll see it later. I'd love to see them.
Well, let's see. The perception in the industry is changing with people being more open to using tech for their health benefits.
Right.
We are seeing even like fitness junkies using CGMs because
Oh,
they
I
just
do it
want to monitor.
Yeah,
everything.
I'm a nerd. I love
Right?
biomarkers. I want to see when I eat that snow cone at my son's baseball, my son's t-ball game. Like, what does it do to my blood sugar?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm never going to have another one again in my life.
Right.
It skyrockets.
So that perception is changing where people want to try gadgets so that they know what's going in their bodies. I think so. So to answer your second question first, would people be okay? I guess the world is changing. People are being more open.
Well, I can see a nice little box that has your
Exactly.
utensils in
Think
there.
of it an AirPod case, right?
Yeah.
An AirPod case that charges the spoon. So we charge through a power
Wow.
bank, right? And we are targeting currently an 80-minute of battery life. So that should last you to 4 meals a day.
Sure.
It's easy to go. Now, here's where the technological limitation comes in. People cook food differently, right? They put different amount of butter in a mac and cheese versus what you put, I put, or you put. And so we are in our second generation looking at spectroscopy sensors, density sensors that can tell you more granular data in terms of the percentage of fats in that scoop of mac and cheese that you're taking. And that will allow us to even further refine and give more granular data.
So-
We won't be perfect, but we'll be getting more close.
So coming from this health, wellness, and fitness space, I know the selection process, right? What I hear a lot in this space is macros.
Yes.
I need to know my macros. So that's why I bring up the selection part first. Okay. So we chatted about that, and you have a way to be able to scan and all of that. Now when I'm at the table, let's call it that, right? And maybe I know it already, or I'm going to a restaurant, or I'm going to a friend's house. Now I have technology that will keep me in line with my macros.
Mhm.
It's amazing, right? So it's like, wait a second, this is on my plate. This is not based on what the technology is telling me. I shouldn't eat that.
Well, it depends, right? So I think that's where human like technology can only guide human to a certain extent.
My
It
next
cannot
question was
Well,
around
that so
willpower.
exactly right.
we went
So
out to breakfast this morning, and we went to a nice little place, and Albert wanted to show off AI. So he pulled out his phone and took a scan of the menu and said, "I'm trying to be healthy. What should I eat?" And then he picked the exact opposite.
I
The most
did.
unhealthy
I
food
did.
Right.
possible.
right. So and that's where the willpower comes in, like
Yeah,
Albert
I've
said.
none.
So it's like if I had, and see, I look at the analogy of a fit, not even Fitbit. Think of the parameters that we used to have,
Yeah.
right? When I knew that I was at 9,500, I was lacking 500 more steps to cross that 10,000 goal. I
Walk in place.
just yes, I would just walk
Couple
up and
jumping
walk even
jacks.
something to reach that goal. It was data motivating me to do it.
Right.
I think we are looking at the same
I
psychology.
see what you're saying.
And you know, it's interesting what I have learned as part of this journey is humans have been taught to think positive all throughout, right? But when it comes to food intake, that positivity works in a reverse way. You always are going to underestimate and tell your brain that I'm going to eat this cake, but only half, and half is actually three-fourths,
Right.
right?
Well, and I'm sure that you have this, but the gamification and the competition
Sure.
is the next thing that really motivates people, as we've seen with lots of these new tech things. They're like, oh wait, I'm on the leaderboard. Let me get a little bit
Yes.
better. So
Yeah.
All right,
Hey,
so I'm going to take it to the next level.
please.
So I don't know if my wife's in the audience, but are these tools washable? Like I could put them in the dishwasher and
So the way we have designed it, and that's a great question. We get this often. So the way we designed it is think of a toothbrush. You roll the toothbrush head, wash it. You don't do anything with the handle. Handle is where the brains are,
I see.
and that's sealed,
Okay.
right? So
That's pretty easy.
so it's
Yeah,
easy, and
that's easy.
we can put in a fork head or a spoon head. So it's one device that can be used with a fork or a spoon. So that's our current generation. What we want to do in the future is try to make it IP68.
Oh, so it's interchangeable.
It's interchangeable.
Oh, that's excellent.
So
I love that. You know what I would do? I was just thinking, and this is really cool. I think it's. By the way, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your story, and thank you for finding a solution for those that. I'll tell you, I struggle with eating. I'm at late night, and I got little kiddos. So, but the problem is, I eat all their snacks. Like I eat all their snacks. I need the technology. So this is a really cool solution. What I would do, because you're right, Jason, I lack the willpower. I got the French toast this morning when I'm not supposed to have the carbs. And I just replace all my utensils, like force myself to only use I would go to I need utensils, but I only have the smart utensils. I get rid of
Hey,
everything else.
So you won't have to look
But I need
far
my hands.
than
I'm like,
us,
forget this.
because one of the things that we're working on right now is a plate.
Excellent.
It's in a plate. So and then we already talk to physicians and clinicians, and the request that we keep getting is like, hey, we need a cup.
Okay.
More nutrition is coming these days from liquids than solids.
Very
So
true.
how do you tackle that, right? So our vision is to have an ecosystem of utensils that can talk to each other and give you that holistic insight that you had this much of soda, which gave you this much sugar. You had this much of cake that gave you this much sugar, and now we reach your threshold of 36 grams of sugar that you are supposed to have, and it alerts you. Now, well, I can't give you a shock and drop the can or the cup or the spoon, but at least it tells you, your brain knows that I should be done. You won't be there the first time. You might end up at 40, but then comes 38 and
You
comes
stack
37
and
and
stack
36.
and stack. Yeah.
And then one day you'll be like, yep, I hit my
Amazing.
goal.
It's outstanding. It's great to see.
So
where the
So can
tech's
you tell
going.
us where you are now? Is this prototype? Is this out in the market?
So
or-
we are at an MVP stage right now. We have partners with whom we are going to pursue our clinical trials. We have LOIs with a few partners across the country. So and our goal is to get this product out, our first iteration of fork and spoons out in the market by Q3 of this year. So that's the goal that we have.
Excellent. That's
But
exciting.
what's the price point that you're targeting?
So we are looking at somewhere. So we're exploring two different price models, like a full SaaS based, which is a common in the industry. We have seen Aura and Aura Ring, Whoop, try that model.
Right.
The alternate option is you buy the hardware once and then pay a low monthly subscription fee. So we're going to try those two models,
Okay.
and I think the second one resonates more is like you buy it once, forget it, and then you just pay a low monthly subscription fee.
mean, this is a lifestyle change, right? You're using the technology to change behaviors. It's a
Yeah.
lifestyle change, and I think, especially in this world of nutrition, health, and fitness, right? It's what's very well known, and you spoke of some brands there, Aura and Whoop.
Whoop. Yeah.
They're subscription based. I think
Yes.
I think that's a great strategy. I think people since COVID, right, are investing far more in their health, and they've made it a monthly reoccurring
Mhm.
investment, and less the other items maybe that are unhealthy. We're seeing, right, just disposable income going more into this monthly reoccurring for their own well-being, health, mental health, physical health,
Oh, yeah.
all of that. So I think that's exciting. I'm really excited for you, Nick. Nick wrote was a co-author, and we wanted to gift you this, the handbook for chief AI officers leading
nice.
the AI
I love
revolution in business. Yeah, so he signed that there, and if you want my signature, I'll put it in.
Oh, I totally would love it, man.
This
So-
was so good and so timely. We switched gears from the marketing department, and we went into something very practical, something that a lot of us think about every single day, right? And we feel it too.
And how
And
AI can be used to completely transform
for
a
good.
vertical.
Yeah.
This is amazing, right?
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm going to be a big fan, and send
Absolutely.
me when it's fully launched out. I'd love to invest in and be a customer.
No, absolutely.
And I'm fine being a beta user.
Yeah,
I
no,
love
for
getting
sure.
on the
Yeah.
early edge of things.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're going to open up our alpha trials to public probably in the next 2 months or so. So obviously we'll
Outstanding.
reach out to Nick and then get you guys on board.
Perfect.
Cool.
I love it.
Well,
It
thank
was
you for
great,
having me
Nick.
here.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
It was a
Yes.
pleasure
Nice to meet you.
sharing the
All
journey.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Wow.
Wow.
Thank you for the book, man.
How strange how it's just how everything works out. Like we're having breakfast, we're literally using AI to scan a menu. It tells me what I should eat.
What you should. Yep.
I decided not to, and I feel like if I had another tripwire, that I blame Vishal for not giving me the utensils, because I wouldn't have ate it. I would have you know what? I don't need the French toast. I need the eggs only and bacon.
I would enjoy the shock when you get the.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, got it. All right,
No carbs.
I gotta lose some weight. I know, I get it, Vishal. That's great. All right, so I think we have another guest coming soon. It looks like they're just having a little chat, but some good stuff here. I mean, this event is full of. I mean, we have American Airlines in the house. We have some other AI tech
I've seen the
companies in the
Mexican
house.
consulate. I'm looking forward to talking to her later.
Yeah, that's gonna be amazing. I think we even said to some of the team there, it's like, shoot, let's talk
ServiceNow
in-
sales and
talk in
how
Spanish.
ServiceNow is going to be transforming using AI.
Right, and I heard her chatting about something in her partnership with Disney. I wanted to ask her about that here on the show. I think it's interesting just what is changing in a lot of the roles we were chatting about earlier. My brain's fired up around just orchestrating. I never thought about it that way. Is as a leader, how do you orchestrate not only the tools but who are using them? Some human intervention, some what we call digital